Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq, with daily insight on the Nasdaq-100 index, or the NDX. And for this particular segment, we're going to throw a little bit of a twist in with Ben Jones, senior specialist with index research and development at Nasdaq Investment Intelligence, because it's cybersecurity month. And Ben, as we know at Nasdaq, cybersecurity is at the front of everything we do. So let's kick this off. Give us a brief intro into cybersecurity month.
Yes, it is so important about everything that we do, right, with this digitally connected world. So Cybersecurity Awareness Month is designed to raise awareness about the importance of cybersecurity, right? It's about protecting data, protecting networks, and protecting basically this digital world that we live in. And it's so important, Jill, because as this world becomes more digitally connected, cybersecurity's role in business, technology, and society is basically mission critical. I mean, the modern world is built on cybersecurity. Without it, capital can't flow freely, information cannot be stored safely, and businesses, governments, and critical infrastructure cannot operate securely. So I guess, Jill, on behalf of everyone at NASDAQ and the NASDAQ Index R&D team, October gives us a month to say thank you as well to everyone in the cybersecurity industry, to the analysts, to the software engineers, to the customer service reps, because without them, our connected world wouldn't be able to function and wouldn't be secure.
All right, so Ben, we have our daily updates on the Nasdaq-100. How is cybersecurity relevant in the Nasdaq-100 conversation?
It's becoming more and more relevant each and every day. And part of that, it's, as you and I talk about, time and time again during this piece on Fridays, is just how the Nasdaq-100 is defined by innovation and growth. The companies that make up this index are the forefront leaders pushing the boundaries of technology and other areas of the modern world. But what's really interesting, Jill, is that we start to look underneath the hood of the Nasdaq-100, we're beginning to see that many of these companies are important players in the cybersecurity theme and just in cybersecurity in general. So what this chart shows you basically is some of the important disruptive technologies ranging from, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, clean energy. And what we have seen looking at some patent data and patent filing data is that about 58 companies within the Nasdaq-100, or about 81% of the index's weight, has actually filed a patent in some of these technologies over the past 12 months, this ending, May 2021. What's even more interesting, Jill, and why we're talking about it today, is that 39 companies within the Nasdaq-100 have actually filed a cybersecurity patent. And that makes up about 27% of all cybersecurity patents in general. So it's certainly relevant. And again, a lot of these companies that are filing cybersecurity patents, they might not be a cybersecurity company, but they might be a technology company or a mobile payment company or an industrial company. But if we do look at the Nasdaq-100 today, there are about 6 important cybersecurity players, ranging from Okta, which is, provides access management, CrowdStrike, threat intelligence, endpoint security, Splunk, security information and event and threat management. So these are some of the important players within the Nasdaq-100 that are really, important companies within the broader cybersecurity theme.
Right, and Ben, you brought up such a great point that every company is a cyber company, is a cybersecurity company these days, because you have to have it internally. It doesn't just affect the exchanges and fintech companies, but it's every company, our data that we need to protect. Our last couple of charts here, let's take a look at performance.
Yeah, so looking at this chart, it's kind of an interesting time frame, right? What we're looking at here is, how these companies, as well as a global technology benchmark and the Nasdaq-100, performed since December 2020, and why that day? Well, that's right after the SolarWinds breach. And so we've seen a few names have really performed well over this time period since that breach, CrowdStrike, Cisco being another. But also we've seen some volatility in this price action, right? I know last time you and I talked about cybersecurity, we defined 2021 as almost the year of cybersecurity, right? We've seen a number of breaches and some ransomware attacks. So it's interesting to see how these companies performed. And if we look at a little bit longer time frame, looking at the past 12 months, you can see some of the return profiles have stabilized a bit, and some of those names that have underperformed, their performance is getting a little bit stronger, right, as we begin to close out this year. So, overall, it has been a year defined by cybersecurity in a way, and that's why it's an important theme to monitor going forward, and a theme that really might define our future, because I think, the modern world is built on cybersecurity.
All right, Ben, appreciate the insight as always. And Trade Talks listeners, make sure that you catch up with us for every Tuesday. The month of October, we'll have special cybersecurity coverage with the index team. Ben, thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.